There are 7 areas to your life. You as a trader, as a human being, you have 7 areas to your life. The first area, and probably one of the areas that you spend a lot of time and energy and focus on if you're watching this YouTube channel, is your income. This can be in the form of your trading income. This can be a job, employment. This could be a business income. There are multiple different forms of income. On top of that, you have your finances, which is now that you generate income from the economy or from the markets or from your employment, how you manage your money and how you manage your finances. Do you invest these into long-term investments? Do you have savings? All these types of things come under personal finance. So area number 1 is your business income, your employment. Number 2 is your money, your finance, your personal finance. Number 3, you have your health and fitness. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is your physical body, your health state, your vitality, all those parts. Number 4, you have your family and relationships. This is both intimate relationships, personal relationships, slightly more of an acquaintanceship. These are all related to family and relationships, how loving your family and relationships are. Number 5, you have your social leadership. This is the impact you're making in other people's lives in small capacity or a big capacity. It may be the impact you make on your family's lives, maybe the impact you make on a more of a bigger scale in your work and your employment, or maybe slightly bigger through social media or through your business, etc., etc. Number 6 is your mental empowerment, your mental faculties, meaning how empowered you are mentally, and do you perceive yourself as intelligent and all those types of things. And number 7 is your spirituality. And spirituality doesn't have to mean anything rah or religious. It's more so your spiritual mission. How empowered do you perceive yourself spiritually? Do you wake up and do you feel grateful for your life? Do you feel like you're on a mission? Do you feel like you have a master plan planned out for you? Or do you feel like you're not very empowered in that area? Spirituality is all about your mission. It doesn't have to mean anything else than that. Okay? So there are 7 areas to your life, and an empowered or a superhuman is one who perceives themselves empowered in all areas of life. Now, I used a very important word there, which is perceived. Now, there is no universal standard for what it looks like to be empowered in each of these areas of life. The truth is, you can become empowered financially for area 1 and 2 with an income that some people may consider as quite a low income. You can have a $50,000 income and you can perceive yourself fully empowered in your income because relative to your expenses, relative to your lifestyle, that's all you need to live life on your terms. So however you define empowerment in each of the 7 areas of life is what's most important. And what's part of this lecture is understanding is that you need to set goals in all 7 areas of life. You need to set the standards for yourself in 7 areas of life. You need to figure out how you want to look in all 7 areas of life, and you want to work to accomplish that. There are no universal standards. There's no right or wrong in this area. There's no comparing yourself to other people. It's not important for this. Rather, what's important is figuring out what superhuman means for you. How does empowerment in all 7 areas look like for you? Defining that and working towards that. Now, any of the 7 areas that you perceive yourself not empowered in, or any of the 7 areas that you don't focus on empowering, they're going to overpower. For example, let's use this example that every single one of you watching this YouTube channel is a trader. You want to become a consistently profitable trader. Any of the 7 areas that you don't empower are going to overpower your trading. They're going to impact your trading. They're going to have a negative influence on your trading. For example, if you don't empower your income and you don't have a secure source of income, you don't have cash savings, you're not financially minded and you're not financially frugal and you don't understand money and how to manage money, then what's going to happen is you're not going to have any money in your bank account and you're going to be trading out of desperation, out of having to force an outcome onto the market. And for those of you who've been watching my YouTube channel for a while, you understand that going into outcome-based thinking, nobody can predict the outcome of the next trade. So expecting money from the market on the individual trade is unrealistic and it's not something that's sustainable. So if you're not empowered when you talk about your income and your finances, that's going to push you into outcome-based thinking. It's going to make your trading very emotional. You're going to get stuck in the boom and bust cycle. You're not going to have consistent profitability. If you don't empower your health and your fitness and your physical, the physical components of your body, then you're going to have a lot of stress. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel tired. You're not going to have enough energy to be able to come to the markets and focus and trade effectively. So by not empowering your health and fitness, you're going to influence your health, your trading, and you're not going to be able to achieve consistent profitability because of the stress, because of the sluggishness, because of the inability to focus. If you have arguments in your family and your relationship, and that's a very stressful component of your life, that's going to influence your ability to come to the markets and trade successfully. And that's going to impact how you come to the market, view the market, and trade the market. And if there's a lot of stress and anxiety and challenge in that area, it's going to impact your ability to trade successfully. Social leadership. If you have a lot of issues in your social leadership and you don't feel inspired, or you don't feel like you've empowered that area of your life, and you don't feel as if you're contributing to other people's lives, there may be a sense of guilt that builds up in you, and there may feel like there's a bit of an issue in that area. And again, the stress, the guilt, that's going to impact your ability to trade successfully. If you have issues with your mental faculties, if you don't perceive yourself smart enough, or have a level of self-worth, or have a level of self-belief, then again, that's going to impact your ability to trade successfully. And if you wake up every morning and you feel sluggish and uninspired, and you don't feel like you have a sense of longing for life, and you don't feel like you're waking up with energy and enthusiasm and this feeling of inspiration and motivation because you maybe don't perceive yourself on a mission, then that's going to impact your ability to trade effectively. So when we talk about becoming superhuman, and what we're going to discuss in this particular lecture, is I'm going to be sharing with you the action steps that I've observed my best traders implement day to day, and I've implemented day to day, and I've observed many high performers implementing day to day, so that you can start implementing the action steps that work to help empower oneself in all 7 areas of life, so that when you do that and you elevate your life, you simultaneously elevate your trading. Because if you empower your income and your financial status, that's going to not only empower your life, it's also going to empower your trading. It's going to help you as a trader. If you get your health and fitness on track, it's going to help you with the trading. If you empower your family and relationships, and you take care of a lot of the stress and struggle in those areas, it's going to help with your trading. Same with your social leadership. If you feel like you're dedicated to a cause and you're contributing to a cause, that's going to help hold your trading accountable and level up your trading. If you feel yourself perceived mentally switched on, and you have enough knowledge, self-worth, and self-belief, that's going to help you trading. And if you feel like you're on a mission and you feel like there's a deeper purpose to your trading, that's going to help you trading. So this lecture is all about elevating all 7 areas of life in order to elevate your trading. And it's as simple as that. And the way you elevate all 7 areas of life is through firstly, right, there are 7 areas of life. Next, it's about defining how you want all the 7 areas of life to look like for you. What does that look like for you? And set goals in those 7 areas of life. And you're gonna set targets. Maybe there'll be a yearly target that you set, and then you'll break that yearly target into little quarterly sections or quarterly objectives, so you can break that goal down a little bit. And then once you have a clear idea of how you would love set all 7 areas of life to look like, then it's about identifying the specific action steps that will help you get there. Because once you set an outcome-based goal, this here is the outcome. Remember, you know what the outcome is once you've defined the goal. Then what you need to focus on day to day is the process, which is these specific action steps. And when you focus on the process day to day, consistently executing on that, over a long period of time, you eventually accomplish the outcome. Okay? So what I'm going to be doing in this video is sharing with you the specific action steps that I've observed my best clients implement, that I have found work very well in my life to implement, and that I've observed through my research of high performers that they implement in all 7 areas of life to ensure that you can become superhuman and to ensure that you can level up your trading as a result. Okay, so let's start with number 1, which is your income and your finances. So when we talk about income specifically, this can be in the form of trading income. This can be in the form of business. This can be in the form of employment. And Each of these incomes have both advantage and disadvantage. The advantage of the trading and business income is that you work for yourself, you get the lion's share of profits. However, the drawback of that, the double-edged sword, is that you work for yourself and you're held accountable to get your own results. Whereas through the employment, there's more of a level of security and you get paid every 2 weeks or every month, irrespective of necessarily how the business performs. Whereas when you're a trader, there's no security there. If the market presents opportunities and you perform, you get paid. Otherwise, you don't get paid. Same with your business. So what are the specific action steps that I've observed in trading and business and employment that help level up your income? Well, think about it this way. There are two types of income. The first form of income is what we refer to as a zero-sum income. The second form of income is what we refer to as a positive sum income. Positive sum income would be some form of a product or service that you're selling through a business or you're offering through a business or employment. Positive sum is a win-win situation. You rock up to work for your boss to help your boss. They win, you get paid, right? You win by getting paid. You provide a product or service to a customer out there who needs your product or service. They pay you. It's a win-win situation. Zero-sum income is a win-loss. When you win, someone else loses. When you lose, someone else wins. This is like trading. This is like gambling. This is like basketball or chess or any professional sport. That's a zero-sum form of income. Now, when we talk about trading and zero-sum for some sources of income, the action steps that are proven to get results and to generate income are firstly, 1, clearly define an edge. Number 2, put that edge into mechanical trading plan so that you can consistently show to the market and execute on that edge. I've got my 6-figure trading plan template that I give to my 6-figure traders in the link in the description. Number 3, manage fear and greed. Prior to taking the trade, I've got my Bulletproof Your Mindset tool in the description to help you do that. And then number 4, structure your life so that you can consistently execute on your trading plan with a balanced state of mind. Number 3. And by consistently doing that, you will approximate your clearly defined edge. You can also add in another action step here to scale up with prop firms and to leverage prop firms to, once you have a proven edge and you've proven to be able to consistently stick to it, to now leverage your skill through prop firms. Now, through a positive sum source of income, through business or through employment, you're getting paid in direct proportion to the amount of value that you put into other people's lives. So the more value you add to other people's lives, meaning that you're helping people overcome challenges or pain points in their life or achieving goals or dreams in their life, you're getting paid in fair exchange, right? You're getting paid. So positive sum income is all about exceeding expectations. It's all about delivering above and beyond what your customer or your boss expects of you in order to play on fair exchange and on reciprocity. So the more value you offer and the more you do and the more you provide, the more income you're going to generate over a long period of time. So that's a simple principle that you can apply to your income. And really what I encourage all traders to do is to have trading as a zero-sum source of income. And then when you start to scale up with prop firms, your zero-sum, or you take on private investment, your zero-sum source of income turns into a positive sum source of income because now you're providing a product or service. So you start with zero-sum, you make that zero-sum somewhat of a positive sum income. I then encourage traders to create another business, positive sum income business, that can help stabilize their income sources so they're not reliant on the markets, but they also have an additional source of income. And all the while you're learning to develop your trading, and all the while you're learning to develop your business and you're growing your business, you have employment there. You've got a 9-to-5 job, or you've got a part-time job, so that you have one of the securest source of income and you're actually getting paid, you're getting money coming in. So don't judge the forms of income. They're all necessary. They all play a role. And some may think that zero-sum or making money from your trading is the best form, but there are drawbacks to that as well. And there's a reliance on the market. And And some may think business is the best form of income over here, but there are drawbacks to that as well. There are benefits and drawbacks to each of the forms. And initially, you may have to do all three. You may have to work a 9 to 5 or a part-time job while you're developing your trading edge, your income from that, and from your business income. But then over time, what will happen is you'll outperform your job income through your business and through your trading. So then you'll get away from your part-time or full-time job, and you'll focus exclusively on your trading and your business. Okay? Now, additional action steps. The next action steps for personal finance. And by the way, one of the best ways to help you trading early on is to have a secure source of income through a part-time or a full-time job. It's going to take pressure off your trading. It's going to take the pressure off to have to make money now and outcome-based thinking. It's going to allow you to establish the right processes and stick to your trading plan. And that's ultimately when you'll reap the rewards. Now, number 2, finance. Personal finance. One of the most important action steps here is to take 10%, at least 10% of all income you earn and save it. Put it into a bank account or a savings account or a financial institution savings account that you don't touch. And there is a direct correlation between the more money you have in the bank in a savings account and the more self-worth you have. So if you want to help grow your self-worth and you want to help feel this state of abundance, or help contribute to the self-worth and the abundance, then part of that is empowering an area of your life. And you'll increase your self-worth and your feeling of abundance when you perceive yourself empowered in all 7 areas of life. But one of the easiest ways to start that process is to save 10% of all your income, to start empowering your personal finance and putting money in the bank. And hey, there's no risk necessarily to putting money in the bank, and it offers psychological stability and cushions if you're growing a business, you're working, you're trading. And when you then leave your part-time or full-time job, if that's a goal of yours, it's important to have cash savings in the bank as a psychological buffer, okay, and to buy you time. So a very important action step is to save 10% of all your income. Save it, put into a cash account that you don't touch. The other thing to focus on is to focus on increasing your income, whether through scaling your trading or serving more customers and clients to your business, or through asking for pay rises because you've exceeded the expectations in your employment, or adding an additional income stream on as a way to increase your income, because the more you increase your income, the more you can increase your savings. And also, then the next action step is to buy income producing assets, whether this is the form of index funds or whatever, an asset that you buy that generates income for you. This isn't a cryptocurrency. This is something that you buy that pays a dividend, or it pays a rent roll, or it pays something back into your pocket without taking money out your pocket. That's what we call an investment. One of the best forms of that is an index fund, a simple index fund ETF or a managed fund or something like that, that you can buy a basket of stocks that are diversified, and every quarter you're going to get paid a dividend. Okay, very cheap, low-cost index funds. Very great form of income-producing assets. Then the next form here is to limit unnecessary expenses. Okay, so if you can focus on those action steps here when it comes to your personal finance, you'll be well on your way to empowering your personal finance. Save 10% of your income. Focus on increasing your income by serving more customers or scaling your prop firms. And then taking a portion of your savings after you have a kitty here of 6 to 12 months stashed away. Whatever spills above that, you go in and invest into income producing assets. And then you also focus on limiting your unnecessary expenses whenever possible. And then all you focus on is increasing your income and doing more of this and doing more of this. More savings, more investments. That's how you grow your personal finance. Okay, good. So the more you empower that area, you're going to feel more sense of abundance and self-worth. You're going to have more time. You're going to have more opportunity. And that's a very important area to empower both of those. Okay, and I probably don't need to stress the importance of those if you're watching this YouTube channel, which is good. Okay, number 3, your health and fitness. What are the action steps that you can do to help empower your health and fitness? I don't know about each and every single one of you, but one of the key components to healthy, fit body, feeling good for the day, getting productive work sessions done is having quality sleep. Now that looks different for everybody, but I think the literature says anywhere around or above 8 hours is pretty good for most people. Some of you have to test this out. Some of you may feel better and slightly less. Some of you, like myself, may feel better and slightly more. I need slightly more than 8 hours of sleep to feel good the next day. And over time, you'll figure out what that is for you, and you need to prioritize your sleep. And there are simple things you can do, like sleep in a cold, dark room that will help contribute to quality sleep. That is quiet. And there are certain gimmicks and tricks that you can implement to help improve your sleep. So if you haven't been focusing on quality sleep, then do a little bit of research into enhancing your sleep, because it's a very, very important component of your life. Then, next to sleep is good hydration, drinking enough water. I think the literature says anywhere around or above 3 liters of water. And I'm going to emphasize clean water. And maybe you need a filter, maybe you need something like that to help purify some of the water you drink, because some of it's not too good. So hydration is a very important component. Then nutrition is a very important component to that. And eating whole foods, eating quality whole foods, and not eating too much and not eating too little, just eating the right amount. Okay? So your quality sleep, your hydration, your nutrition are cornerstones of a healthy body. Quality sleep, hydration, nutrition. Then limiting things. It's not about only what you do, but also what you don't do. Limit your alcohol consumption. Limit your sugars. Limit your caffeine. Limit any sort of drugs. And it's toxic for your body. You want to limit. And really, it's about all in moderation. You don't want to become excessive. You don't want to swing one way or the other, all in moderation. Sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of alcohol and sugar and caffeine, okay? But all in moderation. Don't become someone that doesn't touch those things. Don't be someone that touches those things and nothing else. All in moderation, but be wise about what you put into your body, okay? And I think a lot of people eat too many processed foods, so you want to limit your processed whites and carbs and all those types of things. Stick to whole foods, quality foods whenever you can. And by the way, the more you take care of your finances, the more you can invest into quality sleep. Get a nicer bed or one of those, some of those gimmicks that help you sleep better. You can afford better water. You can afford better quality foods. You can go for whole foods. You can go for organic foods. And the more you empower your wealth, the more it helps with your health and fitness. Okay? Then, after we talk about your nutrition, it's important to focus on exercise. Now, exercise doesn't necessarily mean going to the gym and developing a certain physique. Exercise can come in many different forms. It can be as simple as walking. It can be, maybe a little bit more aggressive, like running, although running can be quite strenuous on your body. You can do things like yoga. You can do things like swimming. You can do things like anything like that. Climbing, all those types of exercises. Stretching. Okay, exercises come in many forms. But some of you are probably focused on gym and physique also. So if you do, again, don't become obsessive over it. You focus on compound movements and lifting weights, and focus on lifting heavy weights with good form and focusing on recovery. And really, you can do 3 heavy sessions a week, and you can get yourself into quite a good shape with that. If you're lifting heavy on the compound movements and you're prioritizing those, and you're doing everything else right, like sleep, hydration, nutrition, all those types of things. Okay, so exercise is very, very important. Remember, if you're not big in the gym, you're not really necessarily focused on physique, because remember, empowering the areas of life is about how you would like to look in those areas. If being in, muscular shape isn't important to you, it's not important to you. So you would prioritize some of these other areas like yoga or running or swimming or walking. Now, if it's very important that you look like a machine, then lifting heavy weights, focusing on your compound movements with prioritizing your recovery may be the focus for you. Okay? Now, on top of that, and as above and beyond, as really as a bonus, not something that you start, but as a bonus, you can then look into supplementation. But supplementation only becomes important as a tip of the triangle, really. Just like you wouldn't speculate in the markets before you have proper cash savings and investments, you certainly wouldn't take supplements without getting good sleep, proper nutrition, proper hydration, and training in the gym. The supplements come as a bonus when you're doing all those other components correctly and right. Okay, so it's your health and fitness. And guess what? If you take care of your health and fitness and you feel energized, you feel good every single day, that's going to impact your trading and it's going to benefit it for the right reasons. Now, number 4, your family and relationships. Now, some of you may have intimate relationships. Some of you may have lots of friendships. Some of you may have very close relationships with your family. Some of you may choose not to have such close relationships with your family. Again, there are no right or wrongs. It's all about how you would like your life to live, your life to look. And there's a simple principle that I'd love to share, that nothing is missing. You may not have a biological brother, you may not have biological parents that you're very close with, but there is always someone in your life that's playing the mother and father role, or the brother role, the sister role, or the friend. So nothing is missing, and you will have really what you want when it comes to family relationships in different forms. So it's important to look for that. And it's important not to fall into this trap that you have something missing in your family relationships, because nothing is missing. It just may be in a form that's unrecognizable to you at that point in time. But when we talk about family relationships, there are a few principles that are important to understand. And there's really one principle that's very important to understand. All relationships strive for fair exchange. And it's important, if you have family and relationships that you would love to maintain, recognize that in order to maintain them, you need to understand what is important to that individual, and you need to understand what's important to you. And it's important to learn to always communicate what's important to you in terms of what's most important to them. And in order to have the most enhanced communication in a relationship or friendship, you're constantly aware of what's most important to that friend, and you're learning to figure out what's important to me and how are they relatable? How do they help each other? How can I communicate what's important to me to what's important to them? Because otherwise what tends to happen is you tend to force your ideas of what's important to you onto that individual, and they do it vice versa. They force what's most important to them onto you, and you have not so good of communication in that relationship. But if you understand what's important to them at that point in time, at any point in time, and you're constantly seeking to provide value and uplift their life and provide for their life, then that is a friendship and a relationship that's going to continue to grow. And there are many people who fall into the trap that just because they are in a relationship or in a friendship, that somehow is going to carry itself. But in order to continue and have nourishing friendships or relationships into the future, it's always important to be attentive to what's most important to that other individual and learn to add value to that and communicate in terms of that. And always ask yourself, what's important to me? What's important to them? How do they relate? How do they link? So that you can constantly see that you going off and doing what's important to each other, to yourselves, is helping each other. Okay? So family and relationships, it's about understanding priorities at that point in time and learning to communicate effectively with what's important to you with what's important to them. Maintaining this overarching principle of fair exchange, providing value and also receiving value in friendships and relationships is very, very important. Okay, so that's an overarching principle. And guess what? If you're constantly on the lookout for what's important to that individual and you care about that friend or that lover or that individual, and you're constantly communicating and helping them with what's most important to them in their life at that point in time, that's going to be a relationship that flourishes. And that's going to be a relationship that doesn't have much stress or volatility in it. And when you take care of that, you're gonna be free to also focus on your trading without much stress and volatility. Whereas if you don't do that, and there's a lot of arguments and there's a lot of conflict in your relationships because of the projections and injections of priorities and values, then that's going to create a lot of stress in your life and that's going to impact your trading. Now, number 5, your social leadership. You become a point in your trading and in your business where you're generating enough resources, whether that is financial or intellectual, that's a book, or you just have a lot of skills and resources that you're going to want to feel like that you want to provide these things to other people. And having some sort of a social cause or a social impact is very fulfilling as an individual. Because I mentioned before with your trading, it's a zero-sum game. So adding a positive sum component to it can help bring more fulfillment to your trading and can also act as a driving force or a reason why to continue to level up your trading. There have been many instances with coaching clients where they've gotten to a point in their journey where they've just lost motivation, discipline, and drive because in their mind there is really no deeper reason why behind their trading and they feel kind of stuck. So when you have a social cause, something that you're committed to, something that you would love to provide to other people, and trading is there as a vehicle to help fund that or provide resources for it, then you can add a deeper reason why to your trading that oftentimes, in fact, in all cases, helps elevate your trading. For me, I knew a big part of what I wanted to do was trading psychology and the performance coaching, and eventually with Telos Capital provide funding, and I have a lot of social causes that I would love to continue to develop and grow with Telos over time as it continues to grow and grow and grow. So there is always a deeper reason why behind my trading and behind Telos, for example, and that continues to give me high levels of motivation and focus and discipline that I'm continuing to strive for. And the goal is never necessarily financial, and if it was, and if all my reason was just to make more and more money, well, there comes a point where you have enough money and there's no deeper reason for that. So that is why it's very important to have a deep reason why that is social, in meaning it helps other individuals and it provides value to other individuals' lives, that is driving your reason why. So a big part of the reason why behind what I do with the YouTube and with Master Your Trading Mindset is because I had a lot of resources and information and knowledge around psychology, around trading, and I wanted to provide that to traders and offer insights to traders to help them remove the negative emotions, to help them scale to funding goals, to help them empower all areas of their life. And that was an inspiring thing for me to do. That's something I absolutely love to do. So every individual that has a deeper reason why behind their trading is, in my opinion, going to go further. And they're going to push themselves and they're going to have more accountability to grow and to develop and provide more value to other individuals. And they're also going to have a bigger impact on other individuals' lives. So it's very important to have a look through your life and figure out what skills or resources you have, what knowledge you have, and what you absolutely love to do, and see how you can use that as a vehicle to help other individuals and provide some form of a social cause. Okay? Now, like I've mentioned, that may be in a larger capacity through social media like I'm trying to build, or it could be in a smaller capacity. You may just decide to mentor one of your sons or your only son or your only daughter. And you may choose to make it slightly smaller and more intimate, and that's absolutely fine too. Whatever works for you, whatever you perceive as being empowered, whatever you would love to do. There are no rules. Okay? I know I wanted to focus on trying to impact and influence a bigger audience. Okay? That's why I went down more of the social media route. So you want to figure out what skills, what knowledge, what information, what resources you have, and create a deeper reason why behind your trading, behind your businesses. And that deeper reason why tends to propel the business and drive the business to new heights. Okay, good. Number 5 is social leadership. So the bigger the cause you have behind your trading, that will push your trading. I've had many clients who lose motivation and drive because they have, they got their funded account. That's all they ever wanted. So why would they work anymore? It's because they've already accomplished what they want to accomplish. Create that deeper reason why behind your trading, and it'll help you propel to the next level. Okay, number 6, mental faculties. And really, this is a simple one. You want to figure out what is important to you, what you love, and you want to go off and, firstly, you want to figure out what's of importance and priority right now in your life, and what is it you love to study and learn about, and go off and figure out the trusted and reputable sources in that particular field, and you want to go off and devour information from these individuals. There was a point in my life where I absolutely loved to study, and really there still is, psychology, human behavior. There's a few things for me: psychology, human behavior, personal finance, the financial markets. These are all components that have always been important, of priority, and loved to study. And what I did was I went and found the most trusted and reputable sources of information I could find at that point in time, whether through books or mentorships or online courses. And then I would go in there and absolutely devour the information and study it night and day. And there are periods in time when I still do that nowadays. And then I would go in and I would summarize the information, and I would implement the information into my own life. And then I would go off and create my own teachings and tools because by this point here, you've got this huge source of information, all this information that's coming together in your mind. And once you start to summarize it and implement it and add your own little seasonings and spices to it, and you figure out how you like to implement it and what things work for you, you can then also create your own teachings and tools. And then if you then take that one step further and you start teaching other people that information and sharing that information with other people, it helps reaffirm it in your own mind, and it helps you simplify it into a way that becomes teachable, and it helps you reaffirm the information, it helps you master that information yourself. So I would encourage you to figure out what's important to you, what's of priority, what you love to learn about, and go and absolutely devour information on that. Summarize it, implement it, create your own teachings and tools, and start teaching it to other people. Okay? And the more you can do that with your trading, for example, if you're studying a strategy or a concept and mindset or whatever it may be, the more you can implement that. Maybe you go through my YouTube videos, maybe you go through my tools, maybe you go through my 12-week program, and you start devouring that information, summarizing and implementing that information, it's going to help with your trading. I can guarantee that. Okay, number 7, and the final area of life, which is your spiritual mission. And really, your spiritual mission is just about being attentive to and understanding what's of priority in your life, and understanding what's important to you. And your life demonstrates what's important to you. And everybody knows what's important to them. Your life demonstrates what's important. The issue here is that we tend to compare ourselves to other people. And we tend to put other individuals up on a pedestal, and we tend to think that that person knows more than I do, or that person's smarter than I am, that person's better looking than I am, that person has more money than me, they must be more successful than me. And we tend to admire other individuals, put them up on a pedestal, and as a result minimize ourselves and what we love to do and our own essence and individuality. It's very important to stop comparing ourselves to other individuals. It's very important to, just in summary of this lecture, this mastermind, to figure out what's important to you and what you love in all 7 areas of life, to set goals in all 7 areas of life, and then to focus on your own path without looking left, without looking right, without comparing yourself to other individuals, and focus on implementing those action steps every single day. And if you compare yourself to other individuals, that's gonna dim your own light, and that's not gonna help. So figure out what's important to you. That's your spiritual mission. That's your path. That's your priority. Break it down to the specific action steps, and then every single day relentlessly work on those action steps. And over a long period of time, like a year of work, you'll find yourself empowering all 7 areas of life. And over time, over a longer period of time, you will have mastered all 7 areas of life, and you will continue to grow in all 7 areas of life. Okay? If you found this video useful, share it with your trading communities. And if you haven't already, make sure you do the trading psychology quiz. That quiz is a game changer. Thank you for watching to the end. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.